Very good. Okay, so um, very good. Everything's in place. Um, let's sit for a moment. Then we'll do a little preparation on our back, etc. We have a famous quote I put to some chanting by Mahatma Gandhi, who is, well, Maha means great, right? Atma means soul. So, like a great soul, the great soul Gandhi. So, let's just take a moment to feel, to be with whatever is moving in awareness, in experience of our humanity. We can actually be the experience and we can also observe what's happening at the same time. And then welcoming the current of breath for a couple of moments. And we'll do a little call and response to start with. Be the change. Be the change you want to see. You want to see in this world. In this world. Be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see in this world. In this world. Be the change you want to see in this world. Be the change you want to see in this world. Be the change you want to see in this world. Okay, friends, let's lie down and do a couple of movements that I hope will help just create some fluidity in our pelvis, hips, legs, low back. So let's start with the knees bent and the soles of the feet on the floor. Take a moment to enjoy the feeling of being supported by the floor. Good. And just a couple times to open up the breathing space in the chest, especially. We start with the hands by the pelvis on the floor. And as you inhale, let the arms be drawn gradually through the air overhead. For a moment, the arms are supported, elbows, hands. Exhale, when that comes, lowers the arms. And you begin to invite ujjayi breathing, which will help us to regulate um, and lengthen the breath. Okay, now when you finish the one you're on, no rush, you can let the arms settle. And then we'll bring the left knee towards the chest. And take your left hand on your left knee. And the fingers, whichever direction you want is fine. So exhale, the knee comes gently towards your front of your body. Then keep your hand on your knee and extend your foot towards the ceiling. Your arm will lengthen some too, possibly. So exhale, bend the knee, bring the knee thigh gently in towards the front. A little compression in the intestines. Inhale, extend the foot. So it's a happy awakening of the leg. Right. And like that, a third time. Keep your hand on the knee when you extend it. Okay, good. And then settle the foot down and we'll move to the other side. This is one of the movements at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, the begin when you're ready. That was used quite a bit in recovery and therapy and preparation. This movement that I saw done a lot in Chennai, where our vice president's relatives, ancestors are from. Exhale, knee towards chest. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, after about 3 times, settle the foot down. Looks beautiful. Now another simple movement. Bring the left knee towards the chest again. This time you could put both hands on your legs, kind of interweave the fingers or overlap the hands. If that's too much weight, just keep the left hand. And now, as you inhale, you're going to slide the right foot down along the floor. So your right leg is long, resting on the floor, and you other knees towards the chest, and just enjoy that for a couple breath cycles. Could stay with Ujjayi, helps us stay present. A little sound helps us know if there's any turbulence. Okay, and then take your time, but on an exhale, return the foot to stand, and you could just put the other foot down as well. Resting breath between sides. So I'd like you to come back to both knees bent and both feet on the floor. And then, and then go to the right side when you're ready. Because there's something wonderful I find about this transition from when you lengthen the leg, you feel the hip opening in front. So when ready, you could extend the left leg along the floor. And again, enjoy a couple breath cycles here. If you're feeling a little groggy or something, you could just have a little pause after inhale. If you're feeling a little agitated, little pause after exhale. Or do both to cover all bases. Nice. When ready, return the feet to the floor and pause. So one more, I love these simple movements. I find they're so helpful. So let's go back one more time. Left knee towards the chest, left hand on the, let's just have the, I think it would be best if you just have the left hand. And this time, I usually have us turn the fingers towards the same direction as the toes, but would you rotate your hand so that the left fingers kind of point to the right? Yeah, so kind of at the top of the shin, below the kneecap or so. Now, what we're going to do is, as you inhale, let your knee and hand open to the left. So you're opening the groin comfortably. You can keep the knee bent. I mean, if it's, that's fine. And then exhale back to kind of parallel where you started. Okay? So explore that, pretty slow. Inhale, leg is opening, kind of asking, how does that feel? Inner leg, groin. The other foot is planted enough that you have a little bit of anchoring or ballast. So just go like that again from your breath. Yes. Okay, and when ready, you could set your foot down, and before you go to the other side, just notice any subtle difference that you may perceive between left and right. And then, when ready, would you bring your right knee to your chest, right hand at the top of the shin? And again, it's a small movement, so the breath, we're moving kind of slowly, inhaling, opening, exhaling, coming back to the parallel orientation. Interested in the pleasant sensations we can generate. And if you encounter something that's unpleasant, maybe we don't go quite as far, etc. Yeah. And when you come back this next time, you settle the feet down, rest for a moment, observe right and left and the merging of the two into one flow in your pelvis, one flow in your pelvis. And lastly, now let's bring the knees to the chest. Place both hands on both knees, fingers in the direction of the toes. And if I think we're ready now to let the inhale, both feet to the sky, arms overhead. So both arms and legs activating into length. Exhale back to Apanasana. Now, try experimenting with closing your eyes and really feel the breath. Maybe a little bit of envelope breathing, breath preceding body, 3-4 times. Nice. Okay. After this or the next one, let that subside. And we'll take a moment when you complete that to roll to your side and sit. We're not going to sit for a long thing, just a moment of sitting, maybe cross legged or whatever arrangement feels good to you, friends. And again, you could settle your focus somewhere or close your eyes so that so many wonderful things in the garden of sight, which is great. But just a moment, we close the eyes so we can really feast on the sensations and feel what that little practice, what do you feel in your legs, hips, floor of the pelvis, sacrum, the organs in the pelvis. You may even have some sense of effect in your digestion. Okay, and then you could let the eyes gradually open. Let's come to hands and knees. And we'll do a couple of all fours, Chakravakasana, Vajrasana, forward bend. So inhaling on all fours, lift the sternum. Exhale, flow your belly in. It's like your belly is gently reaching to kind of kiss the front of your spine. Very supple exhale technique. And go back and forth like that 2 or 3 times. Good. If the wrist is hurting, you could make a fist on all fours. It's an option. Okay, now, if it feels right, friends, and um, we can, on the inhale, we're going to slide one leg back and lift the leg. Let's say about 80 to 90%, so you're not pushing into the range, but just let it find its length is, and then a bit of lift, and then exhale, bring the knee down and bowing. And you'll, from your breath, you alternate. Mm-hmm. So the limbs, in a way, are sort of like octopus limbs. You're extending from the center, radiating out, supported by breath, and gathered back on exhale. Nice. After you complete this one, you may do one more depending on where you are in your sequence. All right. Pause a moment. And now we'll go towards downward dog. So you start in child's posture. Again, feeling the inhale, let it draw you to all fours. Lift your sternum, toes under. Exhale, coming into downward dog. Awareness of 10 fingers and toes. If you want to stay a breath, do so. And then when you feel the inhale, let it cue your knees back to the floor. Moon landing, chest lifts. Exhale back to child's posture, your timing. Good, so you can go one more time. Pay attention to your fingers, 10 fingers, and the relationship to your ribs as you breathe, as you stay a breath in downward dog. Fingers and ribs. Space between fingers and ribs. Nice. Eventually come down on an inhale back to child's pose on exhale. Pause a moment. When you return, everybody's in their own timing. So let's say we do this one more time, and from the downward dog, you could transition to standing, if that's a good transition, or you could find another way to standing. So possibly using this vinyasa, downward dog, eventually coming towards standing. Take your time, a little bit of freedom to transition. Okay, super. As you come to the verticality of the being human, we feel our feet and our toes. You could wiggle or lift and spread and or grasp your toes on the ground. A little awakening of those very refined parts of our body. And then feeling the very stable heels, the beautiful arches of your feet. And with that kind of buoyant connection, we'll inhale, reach one arm forward and up to where the chest can be open. Little pause. Exhale, draw in the belly, then the arm lowers. Super simple. Awareness of feet into legs and spine, and then the other arm is drawn forward and upwards. Little pause. Nice. Your exhale will bring you down. Now we're going to do a special thing, same body movement. So when you inhale, draw forward, outward, upward. Now stay there and breathe in a little bit more. And exhale, come down. Whee! And try that again. So, comfortable, long ujjayi inhale. Pause a moment. Then breathe in a little bit more ujjayi. Maybe even pause again. Exhale, come down. Okay, now both arms. We'll do that one time with both arms. Okay. Nice. And now we start again. Both arms are drawn forward and up. Slight pause. Draw on your belly a little bit. And now exhale, bend forward into Uttanasana. Good. And then inhale, lift the arms and rise back up. And exhale the arms down. Good. So again, like that, inhale, arms drawn forward and up. Little pause. Exhale begins in the belly and the body bends into that belly space. Stay a breath if you'd like, this time in the forward bend. And the inhale, arms reach either overhead or possibly out to the side if you need less weight on your back. Exhale, your arms will flow into gravity. Good. Okay, so now we're going to just a couple times, let's try this. Inhale, arms flow to the side, shoulder height. And exhale, turn gently to one side. Inhale, unwind back to center. Exhale, as your belly flows in, you turn, spiral of the spine. Inhale, returning. Exhale, settle the arms down. I think it'd be worth doing that again, okay? Totally in your own breath timing, okay? Immerse yourself in that. Good. Okay. So take your time. When that completes, if you're using a mat, you'll be a bit towards the back of your mat. From basic standing, you're going to turn out your right foot 30 to 45 degrees. Well, okay, let me say this before, and then we'll step the left foot forward. So for those of us who need a higher support, like in forward bend, some of us might bend to a chair, or when we do twists, we might use a block or an ottoman or a stable chair to bend forward. So if you need to not go all the way down, we're going to do a kind of twist in this position. If the floor is too far, then put your hand either on a block, an ottoman, a moving box, a chair, something like that. Okay, so right foot turns out, left foot strides forward as big a stride as you can make without straining. Okay, and I think the block would be just either at the same distance as your front foot or maybe a little farther away. Okay, so I think Bet's a little closer maybe, yeah. Okay, So let's try this, friends. We're going to inhale and arms go to shoulder height. Now exhale, you're going to bring your right hand towards the chair block or floor, and your other arm goes up to the sky. Turn to your left and look up. Then we reverse that. Inhale, chest expands, arms go to the side, come back to standing. Exhale, arms come down. Yeah, move your right foot to the right, Bets. So don't be on like a balance beam. Yeah, have some width between your feet. There you go. Inhaling, arms widen. I feel length and width. Exhale, I'm bending forward and turning at the same time. Bring your hand to the block or whatever you're using and turn towards the sky. Feel your feet and come back up. Inhale, rise. Radiate through your fingers. Exhale, arms down. You can bend the front leg a little bit when you try this again and stay a breath, okay? Inhaling, I'm expanding, I'm lengthening. Exhale, belly flows in. Bring the heel of your hand to the surface of whatever you're using. Turn the spine. Now stay there a breath. And then radiate outwards to come up. That's it. Great. Exhale, arms descend. Good. Take the front foot to the back. Simple standing for a moment. How we doing? Interesting sort of like spinning through space a little bit for some of us, right? It's a balance element, so that's fine. So we turn out left a bit, not too much, because then it kind of flings the pelvis open, and then take a generous step forwards that's not too good. Yeah, good. Feel both feet, heels, stability of heels, articulation of toes. Good, your movable ribs. And when the breath is ready, okay? Not when the mind says, but when the breath is ready, the arms expand from inhale. And exhale. You can see where your hand, you can look to where your hand goes first if you want, if that helps. And then turn the chest. Inhale, the chest recedes and you're unwinding. You know the pattern, right? You're going at your own pace. Exhale, the arms down. So go at your own pace dynamically, or go one more time into and out of from your breathing. Excellent. That was a nice variation, Jill. Yeah. So if extending the arm up, I don't know what your experience was, but you could also tuck that hand behind the back. That's good. So go one more time, friends, and you'll stay a breath. Long ujjayi. Good. Front leg might be bent or extended per your comfort. Yes, good, good, good. You know so much and you're employing all that knowledge as the moment dictates. Okay, yeah. I love it when these unexpected storms of balancing come in. That's fine. So when you're finished, simple symmetrical standing, yeah, maybe you bring your palms together possibly and rest. Rest in standing. You know, in the Yoga Sutra, it says that when we practice in a stable and easeful way, the opposites in the world will no longer perturb us. Success or failure, cold or hot, all those opposites. So we become less subject to these fluctuations. We become less identified with them. So let's do a little bit of counterpose. I think, time is flying. Why don't we come back to all fours to do counterpose? Come to all fours. So we'll start in child's posture. Each breath a new beginning and ending. As you inhale, come to all fours. Sternum floats a little. Exhale back to child's posture. Go between those two asana a couple times, observing the changes that may have occurred because of twisting and negotiating space and balance. Okay, and then next time you could go into downward dog. Your choice whether to stay a breath or simply exhale into it and come back out. Beautiful. Okay, and then we'll go one more time, and I'll warn. So you can go and stay, and we'll do some leg extensions and down dog if that's appropriate. So towards downward dog. When you feel the inhale, you're going to extend one leg behind, back, and up. You could keep the pelvis level, or you could let it open a little bit. You have that choice. And then exhale, the foot comes down. And then other side. Both arms will support the reach of that leg. Think of your leg almost like an extension of your spine. Exhale, come down. Good. You could stay another breath cycle. Feel the symmetry, the stability, the dynamism. And on an inhalation, you'll lower the knees back to the floor. You can go, if you're in a different timing, follow your breath. Good. Settle a moment. Okay, and now when you finish that, let's just take a moment again. We won't spend a lot of time here, but just a brief acclimation moment in sitting. So just sit comfortably for a moment and feel after being upside down a bit, right? And bearing weight in the arms, what's happened in the ribs and the beautiful upper limbs. There's a mantra nyasam yoga nidra. There's a yoga nidra where you go through the whole body and you chant like Om little finger namaha, Om ring finger namaha. There's like Sanskrit, right? Where you honor every part of your body, right? So when we pause, we're just, in a way, we're doing a kind of namaha, honoring of whatever is coming, whatever is happening in these different areas of our body. Okay, let's lie down and have a little adventure lying down. So come and rest on your back. Yogi's choice. Legs could be extended or bent. What's your delight? What are the instructions of your body? It's interesting that words of Gandhi, that he didn't say make the change, right? It's about this interesting sort of radiance of when I be the change, as best I can. So there's a kind of eminence that can come from us. So take a moment, lie down. And I think because the fingers are so much of our brain devoted to the functioning of our hands, that nyasa can be very helpful in focusing. So you could lay with your arms on the floor, palms towards the sky. Join the ends of your index fingers and thumbs with a very, kind of easy, light touch. And we'll do one set of this. You stay for inhaling and exhaling. And when ready, you move the thumbs to the next fingers. One breath cycle for each finger. When that's finished, pause a moment. So you could, well, let's try this. We'll come in the most gentle way, I think. So let's bend the knees when you're ready, soles of the feet on the floor. And there can be a little space between your feet. Let's say heels are about hip width, sitting bone width apart. Okay. Now, as you inhale, could you open your right knee to the sides? You come to the outer edge of your right foot. And if opening all the way is stressful, just do it partially. And then exhale, let's return. Let's just do that a couple times. Okay? So you're pivoting, inhaling, you're pivoting from the sole of the foot to the outer edge of the right foot. Okay? And then one more time, you'll open like that and stay. And then extend the left foot along the floor. So your left leg is long on the floor below, and your right leg is open for a breath or two. Okay, and then when you exhale, draw in the area below your navel to close the leg and bring the other foot back to stand. Yeah, the pelvis will roll or tip a little bit here. You don't have to try and hold it level too much unless that's your interest. Let's try the other side 2 or 3 times, just the opening of the leg on the inhale and the closing initiated from the low center. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this next time you could open and then slide the other leg down for a moment. Breath continues. Eventually exhale, return the foot to stand, bring the other foot back. Nice. Okay, now bring your feet next to each other so the soles of the feet are on the floor and the inner arches are close or touching, inner knees are touching or close. And let's add the arms here. So hands on the floor next to your pelvis. As you inhale, open your both knees and then bring the arms overhead. Expand the chest towards the tail. Good. Now leave the arms there. When you exhale, just a little bit, close the legs. Exhale, close the legs like 2-3 inches, not so much. Yeah, and then inhale, let them release, open again. So just like that again. Stay with the arms, exhale, draw in the belly, slightly close the legs. Feel the low back lengthening. Inhale, chest expands, release the weight of the legs. A little smaller yet, PP. Exhale, slight closing, barely at all, not so much. Inhale, open. Good, now stay there a breath or two, eyes closed, feel the sensation of your whole body. And when ready, and exhale, you draw in the belly, close the legs, lower the arms. Good. Very good for the pelvic functions. And we bring the knees towards the chest. And the hands on the knees. And let's do a couple rocking Apanasana. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, knees towards. Gentle, free. Okay, and then on your next inhale, extend. Actually, let's try this. Sorry. Bring your hands behind your knees. So your knees are bent, but you bring your hands behind your knees. Okay. So when you're going to keep your hands connected to the back of your legs. So as you extend your legs, feet to the sky, the arms will extend some. Good. Now stay there for a breath. Stay for exhale. Staying for inhale. And exhale, knees to chest. Okay. Now we get a little more refined. Again, inhale, extend the feet to the sky. Stay there. Exhale, micro bend of your knees, like just a little bit. There you go. Inhale, reach through the heels, flex the feet. Exhale, knees towards chest. Beautiful. That's it. So go one more time, staying a breath with those little micro movements of bending on exhale, extending on inhale. Excellent. Then have a moment when you complete that, settle your feet down, and you could rub your hands together a little bit. And then taking your palms over your eyes are closed. Eyes look slightly down into the soft darkness. Encouraging reminder of relaxing the fingers and hands, elbows and shoulders. All right. So you can gradually let that go, turn to one side, and we'll come to sitting. We're just going to, so Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma, the great soul, we're going to do Maha Mudra. Just touching into the great mudra, the great seal. Like we do these nyasa or mudra, these gestures of the hands. This is like a gesture of the whole body. So we're going to sit when you're ready. You might sit on a blanket, many of us, or a cushion. We sit with the legs extended in front of us for a moment. Okay? So your feet are together. Leave your left leg right where it is. Don't open your left leg to the side. You keep it shooting straight forward. You turn out and bend the right knee and bring the sole of the foot to the inner leg somewhere comfortable. Yeah, perfect. Okay? Like we did in the standing twist, we're going to inhale and let the arms reach to the side. Feel the width, like you're being slightly tugged to each side. Getting used to your new space, right? Exhale, bend forward over that beautiful long leg. You can bend that knee up, okay? And then come back up. Inhale, extend the arms to the side, vertical spine. And then one more time, bend forward. Hands can rest either on the leg or to either side. Now rest there an extra breath or two just to give the back time to find its length. Okay, now place your hands somewhere on your, so it's the shin, for example, and you're going to inhale and extend your spine. You're not going to come quite to vertical. You're going to keep a slight tilt forward, like a leaning tower of Pisa. Hands are overlapped on your leg. Tip your chin down to the base of your throat. So there's a long flowing line from the back of your skull to your tail. Now close your eyes. We're going to stay here a few breaths. As you inhale, you lift the chest a little bit, so there's like a back bending feeling, but keep the chin more down. Exhale, draw in your belly, and you might soften the arch feeling a little bit. Good. So inhaling, you're lifting the chest. There's a feeling of back bend in the chest. You feel it down the back a little bit. Exhale, draw in your belly. Okay? And another breath like that. Your chin stays towards the base of your throat. So you seal the energy in, right? That's it. And then on your next exhale, friends, bend forward again, release, rest. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can come back up. This maha mudra is, and stretch your legs in front, one of the key special postures in yoga and in yoga therapy, both for meditation and for healing. Let's try the other side, okay? So turn out the left knee, or left knee bends, turn out. Yeah, if you need props, some of you are, might need to prop the ankle or something underneath the thigh or the knee. Good. And we feel the grandeur of our spine, the great spine, the axis of your world. Inhale, extend the line vertically. When you exhale, draw the belly in a little bit and bow your nose towards the knee or the shin without straining to get anywhere. Now inhale, float again, chest floats, head floats, fingers float. I'm buoyant. And then one more time, you'll bend forward, let the hands come to rest on the leg or on either side, and stay a couple breaths there. Acknowledge any differences between the sides. It's just fine. Then you're going to feel something flowing up the spine, and your hands are on the front of your leg, but they'll slide up a little bit, so you're not quite sitting vertical and you're not totally bent forward. The spine is long. You feel the effort. There will be effort in your back. That's okay. Long line of the spine. Bow your head a little bit while lifting your chest. Don't collapse your chest. That's it. That's it. Inhale, I lift my chest even more as I bow my head. I lift my chest. There you go. Exhale, I draw in my belly. So we keep the jala and Jala bandha. Inhale, lift the chest. Back has a feeling of arching. I bow my head. There you go. Like you're holding something under your chin. Exhale, belly flows in. Stay for another breath like that. It's definitely, your arm should be extended, not bent. It's definitely work. Hopefully not stressful. Eventually, yes, you yield, you bow, you release the weight of the heart, of your lungs, of your head, your elbows bend, you rest, you receive. Nice. And you can let it inhale, float you back to vertical, extend your legs in front for a moment. Nice, nice, nice. Now, if it's easy for you to bend forward and put your head on your legs in seated forward bend, you don't have to bend your knees. But most of us do well by bending both knees up a little bit. The legs can separate a few inches if you want. If we had time, we could even put like a little bolster or something. But let's just bend forward, easy forward bend. Release your belly between your legs, your chest bows, your head. I'm not striving, pushing, just bending, resting a few breaths here. Good. As you inhale, you return to vertical. One more counter pose. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your heels are comfortably near your groins without straining, especially your beautiful knee joints. And your spine is vertical. So hands could rest somewhere on the legs or feet where you're not reaching your chest down, but your chest is grand and open. And you stay for 2 or 3 breaths, chin slightly down. Okay, now a couple times, take your hands like this in front of you so you sort of mirror what your feet are doing. Your fingers could be forward, elbows bent to the side. Inhale, when you exhale, push your palms and your feet together. Push your feet into, press them, see what you feel in your pelvis. And then inhale, kind of relax. Fingers could also be up, but you're pressing the palms and the feet together. What do you feel in your hip joints? Little isometrics here. Release on inhale. One more time. Good. And then just let the feet relax, the hands come apart. Let's gather the legs into a simple cross-legged. Now the arms become like drapes, and you let the hands rest on your legs. And you feel the response of the spine into its native length. You could rest your index fingers and thumbs together if you want, and close your eyes. And soft ujjayi breathing. And if you like now, you could count on the inhale, counting 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out. Or if your breath is longer, it might be 5 or 6, just what's comfortable. Coaxing the breath into an even distribution between inhale and exhale. And then add 1 or 2 counts to both inhale and exhale. And then after this breath, let go of the counts and just stay with Ujjayi for a couple more breaths. And let the next two exhalations now just help to release what doesn't need to be there, letting the body release with the exhale. After this exhalation, you could gradually let your eyes open and bring your palms together. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Be well, everybody. I'm letting class out a little early in case we want to see the big event. Bye. Bye-bye.